Okay, everybody, let me just fire off an invite to Bobby, and then we will be off to the races, so to speak. Speaking of which, this coming weekend is the Kentucky Derby, so I will probably do something for you guys with respect to that. I mean, normally I don't make such a big deal about one race, but this is, the Derby is a particular card where it's really flooded with really bad public money. So you probably get some really good values through the course of the whole card. So I'm going to probably do a full card breakdown if you want to bet any or all of the Kentucky Derby undercard races for that day, as well as the actual Kentucky Derby race. I'll put that up Friday at some point. So with respect to the baseball, I was able to make it back for this. I did do a little bit of preparation, and hopefully Bobby took care of you guys. I didn't see if he put up any recording or anything like that for the earlier, so it's going to be interesting to see how we both come out on our takes here, because I really honestly haven't spoken to him, so I have no idea what he likes or not. I might be a little, I don't know, maybe not that different than most, but I have a couple of thoughts, I think, on the baseball slate. I don't know, it might be different. I'm not sure. I'm pretty confident with what I want to do. I'm also we'll take it right up until basketball lock, I suppose. So we'll see where that leads us. Any questions, just feel free to pop it on in there. And forgive the vacuum or going off the background. I think that it's when I looked at the slate baseball wise at first, before I even looked at projections or anything else, it felt as though it was just going to be a lot of Yankee chalk, which I still feel is going to be the case. I've heard some people try to recommend ways to fade them. Matt Harvey has in fact been a little bit better this year than he had been, and he doesn't give up a lot of home runs. He does attempt to limit power a little bit, yet still, I still think it's a tremendous matchup. Hey, what's up, Bobby?
Hey, how's it going?
I can't hear you. Wait.
Here, try
there you are. There you are. So I don't know if you put anything up for the day, so it's going to be really interesting.
I did.
You did. I literally have no idea who you like at all, so we're going to go through all this.
Okay.
And it could be somewhat fun. So you want to start with pitching?
Yeah. Let's do that. On DraftKings.
Yes. What I was saying before is when I looked at everything really, really early today, it felt as though I'm going to just stare at the slate. I'm like, okay, Yankees are up against Harvey. That's where everybody's going to go, and for good reason. And then Burns is probably going to be the top pitcher, and then probably choice between some of these SP2s. And I heard some people try to make a case for why the Yankees were in a lock, but why Harvey's not quite as bad as he was, and how we might limit power, and that it's against righties. I don't know, man. You got the Yankees in it. The Yankees are in a great spot, and if it's not bad enough, I mean, they put Odor hitting fourth at like 2,200 or something like that. So for me, what I'm going to do is in my Yankees stacks, I'm not going to play like Burns Rogers, like for example, or even Burns Morton. I don't think. Those are going to be the two chalk combinations, right? Burns Rogers and Burns Morton.
Yeah, you think so?
Okay. So is that where you're primarily going with the pitching and differentiating different hitting, or are you doing some different pitching combinations? Where are you at?
It's pretty tough to make a really good case for fading Burns. um, other than ownership, I guess. I don't think there's a giant difference between DeScalfani, Morton, Minaya, and what I'm gonna do is play Urias with Burns some. Like, there's plenty of value, man. Um, and I think Urias has the upside. I mean, you look, it's 2 out of his 4 starts so far. What did he throw? 7 innings plus, and he's got a 27 and a 40. Had 2 tough. Didn't pitch great the other times out, but he's got a high ceiling. I also think Wheeler's in play. I like him against the righty lineup, but he's struggled a little bit lately. I don't see a huge gap of any of the second guys that I love so much, and I like Morton a little bit better than the rest of them, so I probably will end up using a little bit more Morton. But I know it's going to be pretty chalky, so I'll have to differentiate with my hitting in those lineups.
So what I was going to say, it's based on what you just said. What I have of Urias is sub 10% ownership.
Yeah.
So if you did get away with that, you're certainly going to be well ahead of the game, so to speak. I'll tell you who I'm not playing. I'm not going to play Ohtani. Something seems fishy. You know what I mean? Like, I just I don't think I'm going to get to that. One thing that I am doing somewhat differently, and again, just shoot me now, but I always I'm a sucker for this. Where I'm going to fade Burns, I'm actually playing Morton on FanDuel, and just so that I can jam in everything I want over there. So that's where I'm going to be actually with the field on Burns on DraftKings, which basically means about 60%, I think. Burns could be higher in the higher buy-ins, I imagine. But I'm probably gonna have 60% Burns on DraftKings, and I agree with with what you said about the other pitchers. I don't find a lot difference between all those guys either. The other thing I was gonna say is that one thing I'm gonna do as we kind of transition to hitting. One thing I am doing, which is gonna be really, really unpopular, I think. And just because I like to get leverage against the chalkier SP2s, is I'm gonna have, as Butt Bomb this yesterday, I'm gonna have a Cub stack, and I'm also gonna have a Milwaukee stack, and both of those are pretty ugly, but you know what I mean. I think that with especially the Milwaukee one, I mean, Rogers can certainly, he can get all over the place sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try Chicago. Now, again, like they're probably going to, probably like the 10th most likely stack to do anything. But if they actually do, you're also getting the double benefit out of fading, leveraging against the chalky SP2. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay, where are you at with hitting then? Like, who are your favorite stacks? And I'll talk about mine.
So, my favorite stacks are it's the Yankees for me. The Yankees, the chalky ones are the Yankees and Braves that I like. I like a mini stack from Baltimore. I think the Angels have upside, but again, I hate playing hitters in that stadium. And I agree with you, getting a little bit of like 2 and 3 man Milwaukee stacks too.
I love the Baltimore idea, by the way.
Yeah, they're cheap too.
Yeah, I love the Baltimore idea, and the other one I would throw, because I actually forced in a Baltimore one, and the other one I would throw in, and again, it's kind of an uglier one. Is Tampa. Just as easily as I can make a case on the other side of that for a little Minaya too. But I am doing a little bit of Tampa also. So what I did was I forced in Tampa, I forced in Baltimore, even though they weren't really showing up. I forced in Milwaukee, I forced in Chicago, and then I just kind of ran, just normal crunches and stuff. And so I got my Yankees. One stack which I didn't get, which I think is going to come back to get me. I don't have any Dodgers stack, but what I do have is I'm just an inordinate amount of Corey Seager just jammed into freaking one-offs at shortstop. So I definitely have that. and I have an inordinate amount of Bregman jammed in at one off at third base. So I didn't really get to that much of the Houston or Dodgers stack, even though I like them both.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely have those two guys as being big time one offs for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a good amount of Seager. I'd like to get Muncy in more. Molly, the last full season that he pitched, he gave up, about 3 home runs per 9 against lefties, and these guys are not the kind of lefties that a guy like him should fare all that well against. Obviously, not great hitting weather again in LA. It is what it is, but it's still, I do like getting some Dodgers mixed in, and I have I don't know how the lineup's going to end up shaking out tonight, but whether it be Rios, Beatty, however they want to do it with the bottom of the order, Rayleigh, there's some cheap options that you can get like a nice little 3-man and that make a lot of sense to me.
You know what? There's one other team that I forced in. I created a Phillies stack also.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I didn't know what to do at first base though. On DraftKings, I didn't know whether to go for the Hoskins or the pay down to Brad Miller. I know on FanDuel you could do what you want, right? But what if you were building a Phillies? Would you go for the savings with the Miller, or would you go for the upside with Hoskins?
I think Miller makes a lot of sense.
Okay,
but I do like Hoskins in general. I never would play anybody over Hoskins. He's like my favorite. But yeah, I'm not getting as crazy with the stacks as I thought. I do have a lot of Baltimore 2 and 3 men, and I think that it actually works out nicely. You sort of just stack that whole first game. I'm going to take a quick look at the pitching data because obviously that will affect a little bit of what I want to do, and I think we should have more of it in than what I had earlier. I'm sure the umpire data.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Let me just grab this. For some reason, I'm not getting it. I don't seem to be having it. Huh. Odd. So, yeah, I mean, let me see. Why is it not showing up? Here we go. Oh, I don't know. I guess I just don't have them yet. That's weird. They should be out there. I know it's Monday, but usually they at least have a couple by now.
By the way, while you were looking for that, one other team which I really wanted to play, but maybe I'm just lazy. It's everybody's freaking GTD or questionable. You know what I mean? I wanted to play one San Francisco stack.
Yeah,
I just don't know who's playing. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to forget.
Yeah, I know in San Francisco, it's not like the worst thing in the world if you miss out on that one.
Right.
I don't know. At least I don't see the upside as much, but I don't mind. It's going to be really cheap. You can play them with the Yankees. I'll stick with my little mini Baltimores, and you've got guys like Severino batting 6th, which is catcher's kind of weird tonight if you don't pay all the way up. You've got the cheap DJ Stewart in the outfield, Austin Hayes. So I kind of like that, and if you just stack the Yankees and Braves, I think it's a little bit too popular. But I do think there are some other pitchers I wanted to talk about real quick that I think for long shot GPPs actually make some sense.
Yeah, go for it.
Rich Hill, Charlie. What?
Rich Hill's an interesting one,
and so is Gomer. Look, we know how bad the Giants lineup's going to be. This is a guy who's had to pitch. He had 6 innings against Houston, 23 fantasy points at home in Colorado. He had to pitch at the Dodgers. He pitched 6 innings in that one. He pitched 6 innings the game before that against San Francisco. Why are we not interested in this guy?
Yeah, well, you're one of the Rich Hill.
No, but Rich Hill and Gomer too. I mean, why aren't people going to play this guy?
Gomer's good.
Look! I just read you off his stats.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like a lock or anything, but come on, like this guy's I don't know, like he's just cheap and there's upside and it's a different way to get. You can keep the chalky builds by doing that, the chalkier builds, because there's going to be like no ownership on this guy. And the same thing with Rich Hill.
I'm going to look into that for sure.
Yeah, and the same thing with Rich Hill. Yeah. Anyway, I
like that.
I think Minaya also is a good option for pitching. I don't know if I mentioned him already. But yeah, I don't see this huge obvious like that you need to play Morton or that you need to play those guys. I do like Morton. but I don't think you need to play any of these guys. I just don't think there's going to be. And I think you can get really significantly lower ownership on a couple guys like Hill or Gomer that are just going to. I don't know. You're going to get totally off the map with those, and there's no reason why Rich Hill couldn't return to form. And Gomer, like I just said, it's 6 innings every game from him against a weak San Francisco offense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then you can sort of do whatever you want with the lineups. And I don't think it's the worst idea maybe to try one or two. I have Burns in most everything, to be honest, just sort of the way it's going. But I don't think it's the worst idea in the world to get to a little bit of I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to get too spread out on pitching. But I just think if you're going to get off Burns a little bit to try and play the upside guys, maybe you can, Urias would be one of them. But if you wanted to pay down like the weird Rich Hill, DeScalfani, Morton, or just playing two of those guys, that'll differentiate you somewhat. I think that's a better way, a good route to go also. I don't think you need to play Burns. I'm just finding it really hard to justify the fade. I feel like he should be at least 1,000 more.
Yeah, I've been noticing that. I mean, just people have been putting out like good, just big fantasy production out of these pitchers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've been getting some weird ones too. And it was frustrating last Friday, huh? Like, I mean, all my guys nailed it. My Heaney, the guy who kept coming after me, Mike Minor pitched great, and my other one. And then, of course, we get the complete game shutout from DeGrom, who I actually played in most of my lineups, but it was just frustrating because the ones that didn't have him, of course, as it always goes, were the ones that were crushing. And that complete game shutout's hard to overcome.
Well, did you notice the other day that we had a pseudo no-hitter out of Madison Bumgarner?
I know, seriously, what the hell?
I told you he's got tricks.
We're all going to go out there and stack a team that couldn't get a hit off of Madison Bumgarner. Oh, brother.
What about FanDuel? Anything different on FanDuel?
No, for me, for the most part. I think that again, I like Seager as well, like we mentioned.
Yep.
You mentioned you like Seager. I don't think that I'm going to get too creatively different. I like what I'm doing, sort of. I've gotten, even with my stacks, I guess what I would say is that you can play a different version of the Yankees stack that will be lower owned, and I'm going to try and do some of that, like the bottom of the order.
Okay.
Play Gary Sanchez over on FanDuel more than on DraftKings. That's one thing. Try to see if you can. So what I'm doing is I'm stacking them like with Acuna and Bregman, I didn't mention Bregman before. Acuna, Bregman, and Seager are like my 3 favorite one-offs today.
Okay, well, that makes me feel good because I have, as I mentioned, I have Seager and Bregman on DraftKings. I get it as one-offs.
Yeah, and then what I'm doing is that if you're going to play Acuna and Burns and the Yankees, you're going to have to skip Judge and Stanton, and Judge is a really good price on FanDuel, especially. This is birthday, right?
Yeah.
And then like using Austin Hayes for value, guys like that. I do have one mini Houston stack. I think that's the one that I didn't mention that I guess is pretty high on, not my list, but if I was playing a bunch of lineups, they would have probably been the next one for me. I'm going to take a quick look in chat and see if we've got any questions. Doesn't look like it. Guys, drop in any questions or thoughts as we go along. I know we didn't know for sure the Chiefs would be with us today, so we didn't know this would happen. But dude, Chris, you might be right about Baltimore, but the truth is that these guys are really, really cheap and obviously good hitting conditions, and actually have a reasonable run total too. Tony A said top over ump in Houston.
Yeah, what does that mean? Is that
I have no idea what that means.
No, Tony's pretty good. So what does he mean? So he says Marquez.
I have no idea what he means.
No, he'll specify that. Hold on.
Yeah. Braves got one hit in the doubleheader. That's right. And that's the team everybody wants to stack. But I kind of think you should have a short memory when it comes to baseball, but those kind of things it is kind of funny when you think about it like that.
Oh, hitters up. Okay.
What's that, Chiefs?
You said Tony he says a hitters up.
Oh, hitters up. Okay, gotcha. Appreciate it.
I like that, Jamie. I like that. I like that on. I have that on FanDuel, by the way. The Dodgers, the Muncie Seager mini stack. I have that.
Yeah, I think it's really worth a shot. It's a really, really good play. Muncie's been like the best hitter in baseball. I mean, other than Acuna, obviously.
You know the thing about Molly, like Molly's pretty good, but he's this is a big kind of like talent upgrade. In other words, like he's had some pretty soft matchups this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually think he's got pretty good stuff in general. But like a guy who's going to give up lefty power to just, especially those two. But then even if Rios makes the lineup, he's going to be in my lineup on DraftKings. My lineups on DraftKings. I absolutely like getting a little bit of the Dodgers lefty power. Like I said, he's a decent enough pitcher, not the best hitting conditions ever, but these guys have power, and I wouldn't mind it. Tough way to lose yesterday. Jeez, I can't believe that game happened like that.
Which one?
Fortunately, that was the one I wasn't at. The Dodgers game.
Yeah.
With a 6-run lead at the end. But yeah, baseball feels pretty straightforward and pretty easy to get different in a couple spots that I think will just keep you a little bit different. And some of it is just playing, like I said, like trying to play Bregman, Seager, and Acuna with your Yankee stacks. Therefore, like avoiding.
You know what? They do have a San Francisco lineup, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know that. Nothing particularly stands out, but just in case. Okay, we could talk about the NBA if you want.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Do we have any? I hate to, again, I haven't done as much homework. All I did is basically run projection to take a look, and I have a couple of thoughts, but I haven't seen any new news that's come out in the last, 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'll just say real quickly, I'm not going to play NBA for a couple of days because.
Oh, God bless you.
I don't. I've got my daughter with me too. I don't have it in me, man.
Welcome to reality.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not familiar with what's going on and paying a lot of attention to it. It's just, I mean, I looked at the questionables today, and it's so out of control. Like it's just, I mean, and everything completely transforms. And the idea of even doing an early NBA show on this slate was like, no, there's no way we can do anything with that.
Did you do anything?
No, I didn't for NBA. I did a 5 and 5 video, and I did a value plays video. I'm just trying to get the new things down that I'll be doing with the site.
You did a 5 for 5 for baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's most people. Guys, tell me what you think. It's just we'll get them better looking and everything like that as we go along. But for now, I think it's people seem to like that it was quick and easy and gave you sort of an overall idea. Whenever I say it's a 5 plays in 5 minutes, that means I'm going to talk about like 500 other things. But I did get my stacks in and everything like that, and nothing's really changed for me since that part of the day.
That's great. That's like my like 9-minute MMA build videos.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, hey, short and easy and to the point.
Let's get right to it. All
right, so with the NBA tonight, do you want to talk DraftKings or FanDuel first?
Oh, you go DraftKings first.
Okay. Let me see. What did they make Davis today?
Embiid remains questionable, so
everybody on that team is questionable, I feel like, right now. Anthony Davis.
Wait, hold on. No Adams. No Steven Adams and no neck tat. So it's Gomez season, apparently.
Yeah.
Hernan Gomez starting.
By the way, I love Westbrook tonight, but I don't know if he'll play. I was surprised that he got the midday question mark in the middle of this run that they're on. They're the hottest team in the NBA now. Or them and the Knicks.
Yeah. Luka still unclear also?
Guys are asking in chat again about the Discord during the show. It's always hard during the show. Say that one more time.
And Luka is not even confirmed as in?
Right.
A season it might be. It might be the unread season. You were saying?
I think Luka is out, though.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. I'm double checking.
I don't have that. I have still waiting.
I think he's going to be out if he's not already. Yeah, so obviously Chetty Osman will stand out as value. Obviously Hardaway. Gafford is probably a guy who would have been popular on other slates. I really like what they're doing with him. And, I mean, literally they're like a totally different team when he plays. And he's got a monster upside. So I still love Gafford, who might be forgotten about with all this new all this new stuff. And maybe you could play Gafford alongside Hernan Gomez or whoever we end up getting the start in New Orleans. But I just want to say, as a spend-ups go, like, I know that they probably won't play him like crazy minutes, but they did say Anthony Davis won't have a minutes restriction, right? Like, I got that message today.
No, I think his minutes restriction is going to be only limited by the score of the game.
What does that mean?
It means that if it's even remotely teetering on the edge of a blowout, they won't play him in the fourth quarter.
Fine, but makes him – he's a phenomenal tournament play. Like,
I'm not saying he isn't, but we were just talking about his minutes. So.
Yeah, I just think that, like, I don't know. We're going to assume so often that they blow this team out that he plays 30 minutes.
What's his price?
He had a 25-minute restriction, and then he played 29 minutes in that game, or 28 and a half. He's 9,400. He was 5 of 19 from the floor. That ain't going to happen again. Anthony Davis is going to go nuts tonight.
I have Luka's upgraded to probable.
Oh, okay. Something changed on that I don't have on my sheet here.
Yeah.
Let me see real quick. So that's really weird. I have him as out, it does take away from some of the Dallas love or whatever. Guys, drop in some QQs. I've got a little more time because obviously I'm not playing. Do I like Urias tonight? I do. I like Urias paired with Burns on some DraftKings lines. I don't think you need to play him. I don't think he should be your primary pitcher, but I do think taking some shots with Urias makes sense. And yes, you missed MLB. But you can drop in more questions. That's fine.
Dude, you see who smashed last night? You were probably paying attention. Huge smash from freaking Torrey Craig.
What did he make, like 7 threes or something?
No, he did not. Torrey Craig he played 32 minutes. He had 20 real-life points and 14 rebounds.
Wow, that's crazy.
41 fantasy points at 3,600.
Jeez. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I knew that because I played Mikal Bridges, and every time this guy got the rebound, that's not Bridges? I'm like, nope. Yep, 6 for 9 from the field, including 2 for 4 from 3, 6 for 6 from the line, 14 rebounds, like a champion.
So I'll just say, like, the value is going to still be trickling in. I'm just going to say my favorite plays. Brad, the reason I'm not playing is because it's just the variance right now. I'm okay to embrace it sometimes. I'm taking a little bit of a break. I've got my daughter here with me. I don't really want to go crazy with the NBA at this moment. I will be gearing up for the next couple of weeks. I will definitely be playing it a lot more, probably starting on Wednesday or so, maybe Friday. But I'm just going to take the day off because it's just a crazy slate, and it just feels really, really bizarre, and it's like it'll take all night.
It will.
So Westbrook, and if he plays again, that's a big one. Let's see, that's probably about Westbrook. It's weird to assume that Westbrook, whenever he's questionable, doesn't play because he basically now always does, and they're on fire right now. They need to keep this going, get to the postseason for my bet, if nothing else. But it would be Westbrook, and my favorite spend-ups off the board would be Westbrook and Davis. Otherwise, it would be Paul George, Jokic would be the popular guys I like.
I'll tell you, Davis is such a freaking awesome play.
Isn't it? I just feel like it's like I mean, maybe everybody's going to catch on to this. This seems
nobody's going to play him.
Nobody's going to do it. I mean, also you do have Jimmy Butler. I know it's not in Chicago, so we don't get the revenge thing, but you have Jimmy Butler at 95 also, who's I think is interesting kind of too. But people will avoid him because of this. So I think Davis is a really interesting play.
I'll tell you who I really like, though. I really, really like Luka.
Okay.
That's what I like. He has just been Mr. Disappointment, and he's almost out, according to people, and he's going to be under 10%, and I'm going to try it.
Yeah, go for it. That makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, but the question is Westbrook going to be too? Because if he plays, like, if we're talking about both of them, and I'm going to guess that Luka's probable now. He's going to get some ownership. I actually think Westbrook is going to be the lower owned of the two.
You think so?
Let's see. When is Washington is at 7? Be nice if it was a little later so you could really get lower ownership.
That's such an awesome, like fake good defensive team that people might be afraid of playing Westbrook against too.
No, they're not. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows by now.
It doesn't matter what defensive team Westbrook's playing against. I mean, he had a bad game against Cleveland. They still won yesterday. I mean, I guess that's why we're just calling it the question mark, because it's the back-to-back. I think he's going to play. And I mean, this is a guy who, basically the last game yesterday was the first time he hasn't been 56 or above in like 2 months. Like, he's just been unbelievable. Do you know, by the way, he is now the number one clutch player this season in the NBA. So he passed Lillard. How about that?
Really?
Yep. Number one down the stretch. Even his 3-point percentage is good down the stretch. It's crazy. Any love for Houston stack from Eric? I do like a Houston stack. It's not where I got to. I do have a 3-man on FanDuel. I don't have any more. I love Bregman. He's my favorite, and I just like the other stacks better, so that's why I'm not playing them. But I wouldn't, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the NBA. That's pretty much all of my thoughts. Like, if I was playing, I wouldn't be playing too many lineups. I mean, we can run through some other top-owned guys and say if we could play or fade. That might be kind of fun. How about Svi? Can we start off with Svi?
Sure. I'll
Maybe
tell you.
Svi,
I'll tell you who my fade is. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fade the unfadeable. I'm gonna fade Cedi Osman. That's what.
I think that's actually okay. I really do. I think that it's better to fade Svi than it is Osman, but the problem. So with Osman, the one thing that happens then is, hey, you know how you're going to do right away, because I don't think there's a whole bunch of middle routes for him. Like he might put up like 40. Like, I mean, Svi, it takes a lot more for him to put up 40. Halliburton is going to be really, really popular. Obviously, he's a good play, but I think that I would rather go other places than playing as Chocolate. He took 20 shots in the last game. He was 10 for 20 from the floor. One thing that's different about Halliburton is he gets assists, but he doesn't get a ton of free throws. So it takes a lot of a better game. It's going to look really good when he gets there. It's a little Jordan Clarkson-like. But at 6.8, I think I would go other places probably. I
think Westbrook's confirmed starting, I think.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I think Derrick Rose is on an absolute tear. I don't think I'd be fading him. I would probably be playing Rose if I was playing one lineup tonight. And a guy who I have been playing is finally getting some love, as he should. But I like Nerlens Noel a lot. I know I already mentioned Gafford at center. I think I'd give Noel a little bit of an edge over him, but I do like both of them. And did we get the official who's going to start for? Yeah, Hernan Gomez. So you got those three guys to go through, which is going to make Gafford really low owned. Maybe you could play Gafford with one of those guys and get a little bit different. I think there is upside for Gafford. He's put up 36 in 2 of the last 3. But I do think it's hard because Hernan Gomez and Noel both stand out as being really good plays. Maybe Gafford instead of Noel. That would be interesting. So we do have the Sixers starting Simmons, Curry, Korkmaz, Harrison, and Embiid on Monday. I mean, just worth pointing out, we're back to no one's going to play Joel Embiid again.
We are, aren't we?
Maybe not no one, but less people, because they're all healthy. They don't. It's Oklahoma, OKC. It's not like he needs to go nuts. You've got Jokic there. You've got Luka. You've got Westbrook. You've got Julius Randle, who's basically always gets there these days. Got my guy Anthony Davis. Schroeder and KCP are in, which we expected. Rudy Gobert. I might have to build a lineup. All right, but guys, drop in some more questions. I'd rather talk with you guys than build. Cauley Stein. I don't even know where I have him right now. It's so many guys out, so I can't see. Am I missing something? I mean, it is a revenge game, I guess, but like the minutes fluctuate. I guess Cauley Stein too, but I would probably prefer Gafford. But I guess Cauley Stein makes a little bit of sense. I could get behind, a weird Cauley Stein play, but I'm not in love with it, to be honest with you. I would rather play the guys who are going to play the more minutes. And Cauley Stein definitely has a wide range of outcomes. So, yeah, it's not the worst. There's a lot of good shorts, a lot of good center plays. It's the only problem. We also have, let's see, is DeScalfani good tonight? I do like DeScalfani. He's not my favorite SP2, but he is one of them. And yeah, I think DeScalfani is probably my 4th SP2. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Just trying to answer the questions. See what else we got. That's it, I think, for right now for questions. All right, so still don't really want to build a lineup that much, to be honest with you. I'm okay with just taking my other guys. Let's try this. All right, Sheets, it's your turn to shine.
I have just a gross lineup on DraftKings.
Talk about it. Seriously.
I have a gross lineup where I'm using Westbrook, Luka, and Embiid.
There you go. That's not gross these days. That's like
you guys could hopefully figure out. I mean, everybody that fills out the rest of the lineup has been mentioned, with the exception of 2 guys. And one of them is not Chetty Osman. How about that?
Okay, that's good.
Probably.
Wow, not even using Chetty doing it. Interesting.
Now I should probably use him. I'm going to get that phone. Actually, I can't afford it with Chetty.
It's just, I got an idea what it is then.
I'll tell you who's like, and the reason why I can get this one is because, again, I'm using Embiid. Oh, this one is no Jokic. Oh, this one, this has no hope. Okay, perfect. Let me take a look at FanDuel real quick. Do we like Hernan Gomez on FanDuel also, or no?
Is he 3,500? I'm assuming he is, right?
I guess. Let me just see. I'm gonna look him up. I don't want to do this. You know, smash last night. Again, you weren't watching, but Jared Allen went ballistic last night.
Oh, I did see that. I did notice that because it was against Washington.
Yeah.
I would have probably played him too, but I probably would have played Westbrook as well. So.
Wait, what's his name? Who are we looking at? Oh, Hernan Gomez, right? It's close. He's a center.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, you don't have to do it.
No, you don't have to. That's rough to play him at center.
Certainly don't have to. I'm not gonna sit here and force anybody to do it.
Let me just see something. Gomez, I want to get him. Let's put in. So all those guys are playing. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm telling you, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just so confident in that one, but I really like the Hernan Gomez.
I think most people are going to. It makes sense.
Yeah, but I like him more than the Osman.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Even though Osman's going to get might get 40 minutes.
I know. I think that Hernan Gomez is going to be like as popular or more than Osman.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah, he's definitely not anything different.
Let's do this.
I hate what I'm doing at punting shortstop. I really hate it. In FanDuel, on DraftKings.
He's gonna get.
All right, guys, dropping any more QQs before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm just building some DraftKings lineups. The NBA.
So there's a few things. Which stud do I like more tonight, Westbrook or Jokic on DK? Westbrook, because center is stronger and he should be lower on. Would you go Rodgers over Burns on FanDuel if you're stacking New York? No. I like Rodgers, but I'm not doing it. over Burns. Anybody from the Heat Bulls games? Interesting. Did I have anybody? I mentioned, Butler. I kind of liked a little bit, but nobody that I feel like you need to prioritize in that game. I don't think, unless I'm missing something with the Bulls side. I'm just gonna double check my notes. No, I don't think I have anybody in that game. I do think Bam's reasonable, but probably not gonna do anybody from this game. Dragic is actually Dragic is a really, with Nunn out. I totally forgot about Nunn being out because all the other stuff that came in. But I think that Dragic is probably the biggest beneficiary there, and he's 5K. So Dragic versus Derrick Rose. I guess you would take Dragic, but it's pretty close between those two to be honest to me, and probably maybe, yeah, that's pretty much the way I'd go. Dragic or Butler. That's pretty much it. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. No, we don't work for Roto Grinders. Thanks, guys.
That again.
Yeah, it's coming up again. It went from Run Pure Sports to Roto Grinders. We were working for YouTube, apparently, all these things. And we were answering all these questions, too. That's the funny part. Nothing to get too upset about. I know you guys are waiting, so go ahead. All right. Hawks starting Goodwin, Bogdanovich, Herter, Capella. Okay, so
now they start Goodwin.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. Let me just see something real quick. Yeah, so Goodwin is gonna. I mean, he's a little bit more expensive now, so he's reasonable. I just don't think you need to play him. There's a lot of value out there. I like the center value better than I like him.
It's always such a good day when you don't have to play Tim Hardaway.
Oh my God, they're talking about how you showed them checks. These guys really are serious about this. They really think that you showed them checks from the sites. And it's been talked about like on Twitter, on other places, and yeah, thanks.
You like Kyle Lowry at all?
I never considered him really today.
Yeah,
but I'm not. Which side are you looking at him on?
DraftKings.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see something real quick. I'm always, let's see. Yeah, Van Fleet's a little bit more expensive. Yeah, I think Van Fleet's a good tournament play, but I don't think I could be able to get there tonight. All the other plays.
Kleber again.
These guys are. I don't even understand. It's like the weirdest type of troll. I don't even know what they're talking about exactly. They're saying you do the algorithms for all the sites. You're a genius. Good job, Sheets. You do all the work for all the sites.
I do.
Amazing.
That's how good I am.
That's pretty impressive. Still no Dodgers starting lineup, right? Yeah.
Luka's in. Ugh, you have to play freaking Chetty, do I? You know what? I don't have to, but Metu, that didn't be different over there. Okay, let me look at my FanDuel. My FanDuel lineups stink. They just do. That's the best I can describe them. Maybe they're not that terrible. Let me just see something. Oh, yeah, 15 minutes? Oh, no problem. Are there any substantive questions in there aside from my my pay scale or whatever that is?
Not really.
Okay. I just want to congratulate, by the way, Bobby in advance on winning the 100,000 from the one lineup he puts in on the day that he decided that he wasn't going to play. I thought I'd pre-congratulate him for that.
I didn't even end up putting it in, so that's really going to take some skills.
You got to put one in for $4 just to.
I'll do it. Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to do
come on. Load it up, baby. All right. Bart, it's not true. They're messing with you. I don't know if you're messing around too, but they're definitely messing with you. Yes, I am playing the 555 on FanDuel today. To answer that question.
players.
The 777 not even sold out yet. This is what you do to me, Keith.
I did, didn't I?
I just have to play a lineup so I can play Anthony Davis.
That is just such a badass play.
It really is, and it's like I really hope it works. But even if it doesn't, I don't care. It's just such a sweet way to get different on this thing.
I thought you were gonna tell me he was like 8,500 or something.
If he was, then I think you would see people playing him.
Yeah.
Gomez. Hardaway still isn't a bad play. Sorry to mention it though, Chiefs.
That sucks.
Gomez and
I'm gonna go through. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna go through the trolls and see what.
Oh no, God, Chiefs. They weren't even doing anything bad today.
Nah, that's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll do a golf video this week.
Yeah, I'm still. Oh, so you guys can congratulate me. I spent a lot of work on this, dude. On that MMA thing, I had to finish in the top 50% of this qualifier, and dude, there's no joke. There's like all the best players in the world are in that thing, and some of them had like 5 entries and stuff like that. And I had a really, really, interesting like 1v1 I struggled over with for like a while, and the one I went to scored like 133 points, had a really nice comeback victory, and the one that I avoided literally broke his leg within like 5 seconds of starting the fight. Chris Weidman, which is a terrible thing to watch, a Long Island guy. But
how did he break it? How did they do it?
He kicked the other guy in the leg.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the exact same way Anderson Silva broke his own leg against Weidman. The exact same way.
Yeah.
Years ago, which was crazy. So now we're down to 50 in that thing, and there's one more kind of like cash game one this week where they cut it down to 25, and then if I make it to that, then it's 25 going for like first prize and like a regular payout structure. So I got one more cash build I have to figure out at MMA. And dude, remember like when I would do the 2+2 contest and I would spend like 90% of my week just focused on that one freaking lineup? You know, that's where I was at with that MMA lineup this past week.
My God.
I was literally like, I would say,
well, nice job, man. Way to move on.
Yeah, I was psyched about that.
That's awesome.
And it was cool. It was because it was what it was. There's 3 long title fights, so I ended up like stacking both sides of 2 of the fights, which was which a lot of people did, but it was a really interesting whatever. Okay. All right, so we got this, we got Doncic, we got all this. All right, this isn't that bad.
No, they're just convinced that I'm lying.
Golf video for no, it's okay. Golf video for sure. Let me see. Bobby has a rough. He had to move to underneath the stairs. It's very funny. Your dealer to pick up weed. You're waiting for your dealer. The dealer wouldn't be picking up the weed.
I'm sitting on my stairs because my daughter's finishing her school.
Dude, Michael, you're so far off. Michael is asking, are you waiting for your dealer to pick up weed? The dealer would be dropping off the weed.
I haven't had a rough year in DFS. I've had a rough month in DFS.
Not picking up the weed. So that's unless there's a daily modifier there. Derrick Rose going to win someone a GPP. Could be. It's not for me.
I like the Derrick Rose play too.
But Bongo Fiesta golf video this week. Damn freaking straight. Mike Bourne, they told Bobby not to say anything, so he lets cover it up. She showed everyone the proof with the checks. He held them up to the screen. He did. Bobby, you playing the 555 MLB FanDuel?
No, please.
Since you guys for Roto Grinders, can you hook me up with a promo code? Thanks. Is that true? Run pure face. Yeah, but Bongo Fiestas, he's trolling the trolls at least. Yeah. Aiden just says hi. Hey.
I think that reaction was really funny.
That's whatever. We can go Rodgers over Burns if you're stacking. Oh, on FanDuel. Yeah, that actually is an interesting question, Jay Smooth. I went the other route on FanDuel. I went for Morton and stacked the Yankees over there, but I get it. It makes it a lot easier to stack the Yankees on FanDuel if you don't play Burns. Feature, which stud do you like more tonight, Westbrook or Jokic? Oh, you already answered that. I honestly, I'm going to secede to what Bobby said about just taking the lower owned guy. And Westbrook will definitely be lower owned than Jokic. What I'm doing, the only thing that might keep Jokic a little less popular was the Hernan Gomez value, right? Since he's going to take up a center spot. So that might keep Jokic's ownership a little bit in check. I don't know. Timothy playing maybe the Heat Bulls game. I was actually into Bam for a while. And I was into Kobe White for a while too, but I just that total just did whatever. Cauley Stein. Now we're back down to 630. Mike is asking favorite pitcher in the 555. Now Mike, that's kind of like a trolling of the troll. That's actually kind of interesting. Pablo,
who's my pitcher?
No. He's referring to his half snotty comment about you playing the FanDuel 555 from earlier.
But he just asked.
He just said, yeah, he did. He did it earlier. So, hey, you playing the 555 on FanDuel? And then he instead of saying who's your favorite pitcher on FanDuel, he's like, who's your favorite pitcher in the FanDuel 555? So it's a little bit of a that's all right. Yeah. That's all right. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's pretty much everything that we have, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot else to go through. I think that we're pretty good, ready to go. Good luck to everybody tonight.
I will say that is kind of a weird look there, Bobby. So you have it's not the staircase. There's like, I don't know if you guys ever seen The Exorcist. So The Exorcist is one of the great scenes of The Exorcist. Is this guy kept taking a picture of everybody, and whoever was like doomed had this big like line going through their neck, like there was like a knife going through their neck. Like you have this little, at least as I can see, this like light like piercing through your head, like at least my view.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I guess what it is. So it looks like, I'm telling you, it looks like someone's like executing like right through the neck.
I got friends working all over the house. My daughter has to finish up her school thing, so this is I was sent down to this area. Why is this guy coming after me? I don't understand. Mike Bourne. I don't know what the hell. This is like so crazy to me.
You know what this is?
I think I know this guy actually too from before. This guy has RPS written all over him.
No, this is you know what? We really don't know who this is, right?
No, I've seen the name before.
No, you know who since we don't know who it is, you know what this is
I know who it
called?
Is. I'll find out.
No, you know what this podcast could be called? This could be the Bourne Identity. You like that? That's not bad, right? It could be worse.
This guy, I know. I think I know him too.
The Bourne Identity. Nobody, no love. Or is that more of a dad joke? God damn it! I'm the worst. I'm literally the worst there is. The Bourne. What was the other Bourne one? The Bourne Identity. The Bourne
Supremacy.
That's this guy. This guy's the Bourne Supremacy. I think. Bourne Supremacy.
All right. Well,
Michael Barkley picks the most obvious. I'll tell you something about Bobby. Bobby is many things in this world.
I just got ripped the other night.
The last thing he does is take the obvious picks. Like that's one thing for sure. And Bobby does win. That is one thing I could also tell you. The Bourne Idiot. Hey, there it is. But Fiesta piling on. All right. That's about as fun as we're gonna have today. We got to go root for Bobby's chalk plays to come in. Who was the guy that was calling him an idiot for playing Mike Minor the other day? Where'd he go?
Yeah, I know what happened with that. Mike Minor and what's it called? And the other one he called me an idiot for was Heaney, who put up 30 something.
Yeah, but you know what? That guy's a little different. That guy's kind of cool. He's just a little raw. All right, sounds good, guys. I hope that everybody does well. I hope that at least somebody does well, and I hope that if I don't get first, someone else here does, and then I get second.
Likewise, everybody. Good luck.